Welcome, everybody, to the Getaway Podcast with Tony and Sean. Tony.
I am Sean.
We are here today with a special guest. Is in your screen right now. His name is Jeff Cooks. We all go way back. Sean, why don't you go ahead and do the honors of introducing Jeff?
Jeff is a childhood friend of mine, high school friend of Tony's. He is, oh yeah, it's like a basketball intro. Oh, from Dayton, Ohio, by way of Chicago. Jeff is a former college football player. Jeff is an educator. Jeff is a Greek. Jeff is a father of 4, husband, brother, uncle. He's all of that. Jeff, say what's up, man.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today?
Yeah, man. We've been talking about having you on all week. We couldn't wait to get to this.
Hey, man, look, I've been counting down myself. Let's get it.
Oh, I don't know if you're ready because we've been plotting against you, son.
Y'all plotting, huh? That's all right. That's why it takes 2 to get 1. That's all right.
Look, I see everybody is representing, right? We are going to miss out on our favorite season, which is football season. Not the fall, not summer, football season. We're going to miss out on that. So everybody's representing today. Go Irish, go blue, go Bucks. I said it, but it hurts.
It does hurt.
Ain't gonna be no OH.
Yeah.
Huh? So
already has been, man.
Oh boy, here we go. So
look. Have you ever seen the fact that it takes 80,000 people to spell a 4-letter word? Is ridiculous to me. I just don't get it.
It's blatant disrespect already.
David.
It is blatant disrespect. I mean, like, we are coming out hot with the jokes.
In all seriousness, welcome to the Getaway Podcast, Jeff. I know you've been listening for a few weeks. This is episode...
Reggie Bush.
What episode is it?
5.
Episode
Reggie Bush. Yes.
All right.
Shout out to arguably the best football player I've ever watched live. Go ahead.
It was something. But welcome. We want to get you on. We had talked about starting to get folks on that are special to us, friends, colleagues from the past, present, and future. So you are the first guest Getaway Podcast with Tony and Sean. Hit him with some production.
There it is. I mean, look, you gotta tell me I'm on it. Son.
All right. Getting better, but no, Sean gave a good intro for you, man. Just go ahead and talk a little bit about yourself for a minute. And that way you can enjoy at least the beginning of the podcast. And that's both of it. Go ahead.
All right. Well, again, my name is Jeff. I am currently working as an assistant principal here in Chicago with the Chicago Public Schools. I've been in education for a total now for almost 22 years between higher education and now on the school side of the world, working with
he's old
high school and mostly elementary students here. Sean mentioned I'm a member of a Greek organization, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. I'm the father of 4 beautiful girls, ages 11, 7, and 5-year-old twins. And then I have Tony. I share something in common with you. And the fact that this year will be my 13th wedding anniversary. So 2007 was a great year. Yes, sir.
All right.
What is going on?
Stuff. And you mentioned being an assistant principal now. So I know every week we give a little bit of an update, the Rona update.
Yes.
Kind of talk about how things are in Cali, here in Ohio. Tell us what you're dealing with as an administrator there in Chicago.
Well, we just got our announcement that we are starting the school year remotely, which is basically the same way that we ended the school year. So the last 2 months we were remote. There was some discussion initially about us being on a hybrid basis starting the school year. That's where everybody was leaning. And then last Thursday, the CEO and the mayor came out and made the announcement that the first quarter will start remotely. So our numbers here in Illinois are still rising. You know, we're still fighting it. It's one of those things to where A lot of things have been put in place to try to make it safe for kids to go back. But quite honestly, especially when you're dealing with elementary age kids, it's just really hard to kind of,
Mm-hmm.
it's just gonna put a lot of people on edge the entire time.
Right.
Common colds for kids are it's like taking a breath. So, you sit back and you look at the kids' runny noses and all the procedures. By the time we get kids in the door, we're probably an hour into the day, between taking temperatures, trying to create a safe space so that if you got kids who are not doing well, they got to go into a care room, and then trying to find somebody to staff that room. It's just a lot of different things, man, that I can honestly tell you the relief of hearing remote for the first quarter, both as a parent and as an administrator, probably was the best thing that we could have heard so far.
Mm-hmm.
Your school is a K through what?
It's pre-K through 8th. So, here in Chicago, excuse me, we're not set up like we were at home. At home we had our elementary school, the middle school, and then high school set up. Here pre-K to 8th, and then you got high school 9th through 12th. You have a couple of high schools who have academic centers, so students can test into them for 7th and 8th grade, and then they stay at the high school ideally for the rest of the time. But most of the time, it's pretty much pre-K through 8th in most buildings, and then you have and this is Chicago public schools. You get out into the suburbs, you tend to have some junior high settings. So you'll have the 3 settings like we grew up with, but in the city, we're all pre-K through 8 and then high school.
Do you have athletics there at your school then?
We have not so again, it's a little different here in Chicago for CPS. Varsity sports typically are just in the high school setting. We do have like flag football, soccer. We do have some sports starting at basically from 3rd grade up. You can participate in the sports. Most of the time, you pretty much see 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders playing. And then some of the smaller kids are able to play some like just within the school, intra-school type things, and then inter athletic competitions between 5th through 8th grade.
So, with that, everything is pushed back. You're doing spring sports. Is that what you said in the pre-production, or did you say that?
Yeah. So fall sports this year will start and will take place in the spring. So
Okay.
Football, soccer, and I think they said volleyball.
So the goal is to have students back on campus in the spring.
The goal is to have everybody back at least in a hybrid model by the 2nd quarter. So
Gotcha.
We're looking at November.
Gotcha.
Here, hybrid basically means you'll have a pod A and a pod B.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you have a class of 30 students, you'll split them in half.
Yeah.
15 will come on Monday and Tuesday. Everybody's at home on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then the other 15 will come in on on Thursday and Friday.
Right.
And with whichever pod is at home, we'll basically just do kind of a remote type learning piece.
How you feel about
So
that?
that's probably how when we return, that's how we're going to go back.
How you feel about them kids being back in the school, huh? And then turning around and going home to your family?
You know what? I'll say this. In the building, I feel like we'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is that you can't really control what's happening once the kids go home.
That's right.
Who they're exposed to, who their parents will allow them to come into their space. And then that's where the issue comes. I think we've already seen what the first couple of weeks here for some of the districts. We've had a 2nd grader who tested positive on the first day of school. We've had a 9th grader, I think, in another state. I know in Indiana, they've had a couple of cases within the first week of school that have already. So it's inevitable. And, like I said, the problem is you can't control. It'd be different if we were all in a bubble.
Right.
Right. It's the only way the NBA is kind of working right now, because they've got everybody bubbled off and trying to control what's coming in and out.
Yeah.
we can't do that when kids are going home.
That's right.
So we can't control that bubble. And so when that bubble is infected by someone else, and then it comes into another safe bubble, that bubble's now infected by whoever else has come in. So
that's right.
And you still got to move teachers. There's just a lot of movements that, regardless if you keep one class in one place, you still have to bring adults in to teach subjects. So I think they call them super carriers, right? So like our middle school teachers, for instance, would actually be considered a super carrier because they have to move to each classroom for the kids to get each subject area.
Right.
So, like I said, I think for right now, the remote piece is definitely the best option. And we'll see what happens with these numbers, and hopefully, you get people to do what they're supposed to do so we can get these numbers back.
Real quick, Jeff, if you had a choice, send your kids back or remote? I know Tony's answers. We've talked about this with Tony. We know his answer.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you, and mine would be remote.
That's right.
And it would be for the exact reason.
That's right.
And that's the hard part as far as being an educator, right? Especially being an administrator. I've got to do my job, which means I have to get my building ready with my principal. We have to get the building ready for the kids to return. But at the end of the day, when it comes to mine, my first priority as a parent is to make sure that mine are safe. And with that in mind, mine will be home. We were leaning towards and the interesting thing is that we weren't really going to have a remote option. So we're either going to be hybrid or at home. And so the hybrid piece basically is what I explained with the pods. The at-home piece was where students would basically get the online piece on Wednesday with everybody else. But Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Friday, those kids essentially would have been on their own learning. Right. So the teacher would give them work to do, but they would not have any teacher contact until Wednesday with everybody else. So, and we were prepared to deal with that just because, like I said, for our own sanity and making sure the kids would be safe. And I'll be honest with you, we've even, there's been conversation about vaccines and the vaccines being the need for vaccine testing and trying to get more Black and brown people to participate in these trials. So that's another piece that's interesting because you got to participate on some level, but you also know all the history as far as Black and brown people with vaccines. It has not been we have not been treated favorably through the medical historically through the medical piece as far as exploration of medicine.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
But that's another topic. So
this will not be no experiment on Big Papa. Tone, you getting the vaccine right away, Tone?
I don't believe we have a vaccine yet.
You know what I mean. When they come out with that vaccine, that remdesivir, whatever it is, you getting the first dose of that?
The first dose, I doubt I'll be the first in line.
Yeah, but they are in the trial, like third trial or the third phase of trials, so they say, with some of them that are coming up. So that's why they're trying to compile a list. So it's an interesting thing. So yeah.
The other thing that's kind of abusive or whatever is I heard the report today on iHeartRadio Black Information Network. It's a news network. The cost of remdesivir is $1 to make. They're charging $2,300 for one vial. I'm just saying, son. It's a racket. It's a racket.
Capitalism at its best or worst.
Man. Look, we're all in the LLC, ladies and gentlemen. We are all members of the LLC. Why didn't we invest in remdesivir?
Man.
All right. So one of the things we like to do on the Getaway podcast with Tony and Sean is we like to keep it light.
Yes.
So we are going to move on right away to a contest.
Whoa!
Contest.
This is new.
We're going to have Jeff. The new segment.
Uh-oh.
John, can you play the game show music?
Wait a
music. Come on,
minute.
producer.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You gotta look. This is look, there are reasons we have pre-production meetings. I've been doing so much work behind the scenes to get ready for today. Hold on, give me a second, because I am not prepared. I'm just not prepared.
I'm curious to see what this is about to bring. All right.
I cannot believe he did this to me. I'm so unprepared for this. Oh my gosh,
Okay.
Tone. You gotta let me know. Hold on, I got it right here. Hold on.
Play it. Play it.
Oh my God, I can't believe you did this to me, man. Oh my goodness. I'm so embarrassed. I am so.
This is what we deal with.
Embarrassed.
Got one job, and that is to produce.
Oh my God. Like,
well, hey,
hold on. A quick text message to your boy would have been like, "Hey, Sean, I want to do this on the show today."
I'm not allowed to use my phone. I'm not allowed to use my phone during the show.
No, before the show.
Yeah,
that's
fine.
What Jeff, right? Pre-production. Jeff, what time did you get on?
You're not gonna throw me in the middle of this one, bro.
What time did you get on, Jeff? Huh?
I was probably here about 3. I was about 10 minutes early.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
All right, here you go, Tone.
Do you have the music or not?
Do I have music or not?
Here's our contest today with our guest, Jeff Cooks. Jeff, here's what I can promise you. You will receive a prize and name the person say this quote. Okay? Here's how it went. Blank, or hope there's a mercy rule, because we're going to hang 100 on them. Who said that?
Oh, look, that's raw.
that is
so
happened to be
raw.
What year? What was this? The second year coach there at that school in Columbus. That school, the head coach of the school in Columbus.
What is going?
You're saying right
on?
Forget your final answer is Ryan Day.
I believe you said. Say it again.
What's your final answer?
Say. Give me the question again.
Here it is. Blank. Better hope there's a mercy rule, because we're gonna hang 100 on them. Who said that?
Yeah, that was your boy. That was your boy in the school, that Columbus school.
Ryan Day. That's your final answer.
Yeah, man.
This is look. Ambushed. Jeff, you were ambushed. I was ambushed. This dude is coming in hot.
That's
not getting, you know what? You are right. Give him the you win music.
You better not play that Ohio State.
Hold on. What are you
You better not play no Ohio State music.
Ohio State music. What are you talking about?
Yes. You have won. Let me tell you what you have won. You have won.
Man, so I gotta hear.
Hold on. You have won, Jeff Cooks. Had another beatdown on 10-24 by the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh my gosh!
Early this year, 10-24. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. All right. Mm-hmm.
So we got this quote. Here, let's tell everybody how we got this quote. Some people may not be. So during the week, it looked like there was a Big Ten Zoom conference call between the coaches. Ryan Day was talking about some things in the State of the Union, and all of a sudden the Rude, acting like a rookie coach from up north, decides to interrupt Coach Day while he's talking. Didn't wait for him to be done, and then proceed to accuse him and the Ohio State Buckeyes coaching staff by giving illegal instruction to players during a dead period.
He said they were cheating.
So he chose.
Don't say illegal. He said they were cheating.
Yes, he did say that. So he chose to call out Ryan Day in a rude, interrupting. Ryan Day, the class act that he is, simply responded to Mr. Harbaugh. I won't even call him Coach Harbaugh because I'm respectful when you want to be disrespectful, like they're during a call, a professional call. But he went on to tell Mr. Harbaugh that he should probably worry about his team Coach Day will worry about the Buckeye. That was the quote. That's who said it. That's what happened. Fellas, what are your thoughts?
What? This dude's coming in hot today, man.
He come here throwing haymakers already.
Wow.
Hey, look, I'm a diehard.
Okay,
and y'all know I'm a diehard Michigan fan.
Before you get started, Jeff, I'm gonna let you finish, right? I'm like Kanye. I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to give you something to encourage you to get your statement, your reply ready. Okay, so just give me a second here. I'll give you a little love, a little hail to the victors. Get your mind right. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, we can bring it.
There you go. Have at it, son.
All right. So the question is what are my thoughts about him trying to hang 100 on the game?
They just might do it,
or just in general.
There's nothing you can do about that. The 100, I believe that's some embellishing, but if history, I mean, last year we got pretty close, taking the air out of the ball. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'll say this. Being a diehard Michigan fan, but y'all know I love football, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I am, as much as I hate the fact that it's been 8 straight, and I do admit the fact that it's been 8 straight just heartbreakers and a couple just wallops on our heads.
Yeah.
I don't think we're in a position to do a lot of chatter, but I think the other part of it is that with anything, you chatter because you've got to show that you believe that you can do it. He's got to put the action there. He's got to put his action where his mouth is at this point. He hasn't done it yet. He hasn't won the big game. I still think he's probably the best coach for the job. He's just got to come through. We've had some horrible quarterback play, and that's been one of the areas where Michigan has really struggled. I think in probably the last 7 to 8 years, generally speaking, we have not had that consistent play at that position, and we have not had the consistent play that we have normally had at the running back position. Those have been the 2 key spots. We've never been a down the field type team. Michigan's never been down the field in that manner. Not where we just come into a season trying to air it out. They've always been kind of that ball and possession type team. Will pound you to death with 2 good backs and then catch you slipping with the pass. That's not something it's not the era. I've seen him try to make that transition. Shea Patterson, for all intents and purposes.
Look, hold on, stop. We are
okay. Hold on. Okay.
Hold on. We are getting a really detailed explanation for this challenge. Like, let me tell you something.
Right. All right.
Hold on. Let me tell you something. Your boy got on the radio talking that noise, and he is going to get your team 100 hung on him. Let me tell you something. You know what that did for the Ohio State Buckeye football team? They
absolutely nothing.
Baloney. Let me tell you something. All the alum,
look, man,
after that statement, the alum on Twitter were fired up. Zeke.
Look,
I saw other people. Let me tell you something. That's an extra rep. They're getting one more sprint out of those guys. One more bench press. One more squat. Coach, we'll go 15 more minutes. They are going to hang 80 on them at least.
No, that will not happen.
It's going to happen.
Look, I tell you what. When is the game? October 24th?
10/24 is what he said. You heard him.
On October 25th. If it happens, I will come back on your show with a Notre Dame hat and a Buckeye jersey on.
Here we go.
It ain't happening.
So your initial answer, like of Barack Obama, okay,
man,
from Chicago, spoken straight. But here's the deal, right? You guys haven't won since 2011.
Ooh.
Okay, that's the fact.
That hurts.
And to be honest with you, you haven't been close too many times.
Oh,
right. So beyond that, you talked about quarterback. You also talked about he's the right person for the job. He's a former quarterback. He's a former NFL quarterback. Your former NFL quarterback is the right man for the job, but he can't get good quarterback. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Sure it does. You gotta look, man. Truth be told, y'all gotta look at it. Doesn't mean he's a great recruiter. And you also have to think about the system. Kids are playing in a system that's built like for Michigan. Kids are going to schools where
maybe that's not the right system to.
But
maybe that's not the right coach to there.
But we don't have to. But you also have to see.
Here's a problem with Michigan. Here's a problem with you guys. Okay, you guys made a decision that you wanted to try to catch up. Times right, and you wanted to bring in people that were doing things the way they're being done now. Okay, but that wasn't good enough because either it didn't happen quick enough, or you weren't getting the type of kids that you were getting, or yada yada yada, whatever. All the while, okay, 7 straight. What is it? 13 out of the last 14, whatever it is. So all the while, you guys jump from this to this. All I keep hearing is, here's the class. Next year's the group. Next year's the big chance. I don't know, man. All I know is I don't even try to make wagers with any of my Michigan.
Oh.
Because nobody will take these up. Now, you just came with it. You will come back on the show wearing this, wearing a... Okay.
Look, let me tell you something. I do know. You know what I can say about Jeff? You know what I can say about Jeff? No. You know what I can say about Jeff? He does pay his bets. He's bought me so much Garrett popcorn in the recent history that I don't know. Look, I got cans. I had so much popcorn coming from Jeff from Chicago.
You got 3 cans of popcorn, man.
That I donated. I didn't even pick up the last one. I let his sister keep it. I was like, oh man, I've had too much. I've had too many cans. I can't take any more Chicago style popcorn because look, you hear it,
man.
Oh,
Michigan,
hold on, let that ride. Right. Don't let this music ride. You hear it?
What music? I don't hear anything. What's that?
Echoes cheering. You hear it?
We'll hear that in 13 more years. Put that back on in 2033. That's when you get to play it again.
I get it.
Turn that off.
ACC.
You get to play that again.
Fighting Irish. Pride of the ACC.
That's right. Pride of the ACC. Let me tell you something. All I heard was get in a conference. So now, forced due to a quarantine and pandemic type events, now we're in a conference. We've succumbed because we got to get it done, right? And remember what I said in that first episode, Tone? We are everybody's greatest game. We are everybody's greatest game, and now they are going to sell some tickets in the ACC. Finally, they're going to make some money on TV. Finally. And y'all gonna find out what it's like to be in a conference.
Okay,
so you make that stupid remark, but you don't understand what I'm about to tell you. What I'm about to tell you is we swap out the non-conference games, USC, Stanford, and Wisconsin, and join the ACC fully for this little 10-game thing, and our schedule got weaker. So explain that to all you people out there in college football land who love to bash Notre Dame about their schedule, and you say join a conference. Well, wait a minute, Jeff. What's Clemson?
Nobody said join a conference.
When's Michigan been in the playoffs?
We didn't say join a conference. We said join. There was specific conference for y'all.
When has Michigan been in the playoffs?
The weakest conference in football.
Are you sure it's the weakest?
Man,
are you sure it's the weakest? Because Clemson is national champion. Multiple time national champ. They've beaten Alabama. When has Michigan been in the playoffs?
Who else have the Clemson?
Hold on. When is anybody outside of Ohio State represented in the playoffs?
Outside of Clemson.
I'm
asking. Give me somebody outside of Clemson.
I'm asking you, Mr. Maryland Rutgers. I need to know.
Give me somebody else out of Clemson.
I need to know. Give me someone else. Give me someone else outside of Ohio State.
Of what?
Outside of Ohio State, it ain't Michigan.
That did what?
Exactly. Who else? Who else?
We talking about your squad now.
No, but you're telling me all there is Clemson. Well, now it's Clemson and Notre Dame. So who is it outside of Ohio State? It ain't Michigan.
I didn't say it was.
Welcome to the podcast, sir.
I didn't say it was Michigan.
Welcome to the podcast. This is how we get down, huh?
Okay, so a good segue into this.
Woo!
So
I'm hot.
the Power 5 athletic director, both veteran athletic directors who are asked to remain anonymous, I'm being, who basically have said it is inevitable
Yes.
that the fall season will be canceled.
Yes.
What do you guys think about that?
I'm sad.
Do you believe that?
I'm sad. No, it's a wrap. It's done.
Do you feel like do you feel like the canceling anything to do with that, pushing it that way, or do you feel like that it was just a foregone conclusion?
So the MAC has already canceled the season, right?
Yes.
Then I think MAC has already said it's not happening.
It's done.
And I think they're going to be the first. I think it's just the first domino. I don't know. I think football, I just don't know how you keep it safe. I don't know how you keep players safe in a situation where spit and everything else is they don't even want people singing. Like if you think about a church choir, right?
Right.
The reason why they don't let choirs together is because of the singing.
Yes.
Because you have to project your voice, which means that you're also projecting saliva and everything else and spread of the virus. I don't know how you keep that from happening and play football.
Right, and I think that's been kind of all along. Everybody's been. I think what it has really come down to now, and Sean, we've talked about this in previous weeks. It comes down to money in a lot of ways.
That's exactly
Safety
what it
issue.
is.
Everybody's known safety issue. UConn opts out this week. Let's make no bones about it. A big part of the reason UConn opted out was they were independent. They lost a lot of their schedule.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From a financial standpoint, and when a UConn loses those Big Ten games and those games from other conferences, when MAC schools lose their biggest money making games, their
Yes.
biggest revenue producing games, and they can't play anybody out of those Power 5 conferences, and they're looking at basically just the siphoning funds, right? I mean, let's think about it. When a school like Bowling Green or some of these other MAC schools play in Ohio State or play another Power 5 big team, so that is revenue that goes a long way in running the entire athletic department.
That's right.
Not just the football program.
I would say it's not just the athletic department; it's the school. So you have to realize that's money. That's school. That money, the schools are utilizing that money. It's not just the athletic department. That's
Right.
money going through the general budget.
Right.
Point.
So so it's a big loss.
Yeah.
You think about it from it's not just sports. It's a huge loss. And I know, some schools have talked about having to lay off staff.
Absolutely.
If the season doesn't work because of the type of money that's coming.
You're operating in the red now, right? Those beat downs that those teams, Ohio State hanging 70 on Bowling Green, it's well worth it to the from the football program and the athletic department and the school, like you said, to get that income. They're going to take that L to get the cash, and it's a cash grab. And that's why these players are starting to unite. They're doing this whole player united. The Pac-12's, the Big Ten's done one. These players are uniting now. Now everybody can see it's about money now, right? It's about money because they want to play these games because they need the revenue. And if the revenue's not there, then they're in trouble. It's not just a matter of are we going to have? They're in trouble because last year's that budget is already spent. It's already been allocated. They've already improved facilities. They're paying people. They're doing all these other things, and they're counting on this money to come in this year. That's why they're pushing to play for money.
I believe this is definitely a prelude to us seeing some major changes in college athletics. I think you're going to see the Power 5 conferences at some point here matriculate to their own group. And these smaller conferences, I think it's definitely going to change the landscape. So moving on to high school sports, right? So I'll talk about Ohio here. I don't know if there's any change you're at, Sean. I believe, like you said, Jeff, there's some changes there going on in Illinois right now. But Ohio, the OHSAA just announced Friday about 4:30 p.m. So they waited for everybody to be done with their day. they announced proposed shortening of the high school football. Given the governor's office even allows there to be a season, and that it would shorten the season to 6 games, which effectively would cause the season to end earlier, and then everybody in the state making the they don't have to opt into the playoffs. They can actually opt out of the playoffs if they want and to play games for revenue. What are your thoughts on?
Look, that's huge. That's huge, but I don't think it's going to get to that point. I'm not even going to speculate, because if you have these major universities with staff, medical staff, training staff, funds to support that and their efforts to keep everything clean and social distancing and all the testing involved, if you got universities that can't do that, how can a high school who usually has one athletic trainer and some student trainers do the same thing for every athlete in the high school? So it's not even going to get to the point of 6 games in playoffs. I don't think it's possible for them to even have a season. And look, I've seen the pictures, and I've seen these high school, Stebbins and Centerville. I've seen the post online where they're having their practices and their social distance. But I mean, like Ohio State, they've scaled it back to no pad, no contact. It's all acclimation. Jeff, you remember acclimation? 4 days of acclimation before we get hit in high school, and it was the worst 4 days of your life because it was like it's all running. So Ohio State's going back to all acclimation. You imagine being in acclimation for 2-3 weeks, and then all of a sudden, no season. We're not going to get to a season. I wouldn't let my kid play, just because you can't protect them. And I don't even think it's going to get to the point where we're going to go 6 games in playoffs. Jeff, what do you think?
Look, only thing I would say is this: if schools are not in session, I don't know how you play a season. I don't know how you play games in school. And if it's not safe enough for your child to be in a building, it's not safe enough for them to be on the field, where there's going to be even more opportunity to exchange or come in contact with body fluids that will allow for the passing of the virus. I just don't see how it happens.
Say word. That's the truth. Like, if Johnny can't go in there and read, how you gonna have him out in practice, huh? You can't have him come in there and do a spelling test and be social distance and still feel safe, but then you're gonna go out there and just run into everybody, sweat and slobber, right? Football is disgusting by nature.
Think about water bottles. I mean, when we was playing, there wasn't no such thing as everybody had their own little water bottle thing. It was a tray with about 6 or 7 water bottles in it. Everybody went to the same one and just hope nobody put their mouth on it. Type deal.
And if they did, what you do? You wiped it off with your hand and called them dirty. You dirty mug, and you just wiped it off with your hand, which is dirty in the first place. It's by nature, it's disgusting. Basketball by nature is disgusting. It's just what it is. Sweaty, breathing and panting all over each other, man. Come on. It's not going to happen. And I hate to say it, it's by far my favorite season. It's by far my favorite season. I am Sean the Greek. I like to gamble $20 a week online in hopes of winning some cash. Jeff's been a big winner, by the way. I'm not going to say nothing, but IRS don't come looking for us. Huh? I enjoy it, and I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss having 2 TVs and the projector on the wall and laptops and tablets going, watching all these games. I'm going to miss it, man.
Yeah. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Now we beat you up a little bit today, Jeff.
Yeah, we did.
Unfortunately,
we beat you up.
You chose that, but
you signed up.
I do hope.
You signed up for this.
I do hope that y'all up there do get better. I hope that you create a competitive game for us once a year at some point. While I'm still able to enjoy these games on my faculty. I will make this guarantee, though. I will make this guarantee.
Oh, write this down.
Guarantee.
Or write this down.
Guarantee Michigan's going to beat Ohio State one of these years.
Stupid.
That being said,
disrespect.
every week we talk about just things that are going on, things that we're doing outside of just our work week or things of that nature. We've talked about shows you binge. If you've been binge watching, hobbies, things that you do outside of your work. What are some things you like to do? You mentioned having the four daughters, a wife. What are some things that you all are doing to stay busy during this time? Assuming that you're social distancing based on what you're talking about. What are you doing? What are you doing to keep busy?
Oh man, we pretty much will find a series on TV, and we will just watch one episode, and the next thing you know, we done watched the season. So this last season, last night we finished the Umbrella. What is it? The Umbrella Group. I forget the name of the show. But basically, where these 7 kids were all kind of born to virgins. This guy went around and collected them to train them how to defend the world. So we started watching that. We watched both seasons probably within about a week.
The Umbrella Academy?
Umbrella Academy.
There
Thank you. That's what it
You're
is.
welcome. You're welcome.
So we watched that. And then it's just a matter of just doing things with the girls, man. With them being the ages, we're real careful about what we watch on TV. Just so we're not overexposing them to different things. But try to get outside, let them stretch their legs a little bit. The oldest one loves basketball, so she's doing her little dribble up drills and stuff of that nature. And the other ones, we just try to keep them occupied with virtual dance classes, virtual Bible study classes, summer camps like that. So they've had a lot of virtual type things, and that's so we've been trying to break them away from the iPads when they're not in virtual stuff. So doing puzzles, doing games, things of that nature, just to try to keep them stimulated.
That oldest one, you said the oldest is she's getting into basketball, huh?
Man, she loves it. She's been going at it for a minute. So I help coach wherever she needs it, and then I got her to dribble up basketball, and she loves that. So it gives her an opportunity to really work on her ball handling skills.
So how long before she hits you with?
When you just talk about practice, we sitting here. I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we in here talking about practice.
Yes, how long before she gets salted? Hey, hold on, Tone. You like that production tone?
Love it.
That was good, man. That was good.
I just had to drop it in there, man. I've been working hard on my production skills, son.
So what was you saying now? You said what before she hit me with what? That we talking about practice?
We just talk about practice. We sitting here. I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we in here talking about practice.
Practice.
Not a game,
man.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Look, I got a series of these things that I figured you guys would like. Tone, I finally got a cleaner version of our most popular. That's it. That's it. A cleaner version there. I've been working on my game. I even got a little
playoffs. Playoffs? You kidding? We just the Bears are what we thought they were. What we thought they were.
Rest in peace.
In preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bullshit? Bullshit.
Ooh, well, I got no mute button for that.
Everybody the Bears are what we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field.
Yeah.
Let them off the hook.
Crown them.
They are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Rest in peace, Dennis Green.
Man.
Yes. Oh, okay. So we know you make bad decisions in college football, but who are your pro football teams?
Yeah.
And basketball teams? Who are some of the folks you root for? Root for the Bulls out there in Chicago?
Man, y'all know I grew up a diehard Laker fan. So
convenient. That's convenient.
So there you go with that whole convenient thing. No, I was a Laker fan with Magic, Byron, captain. James Worthy.
Okay.
Even with Michael Thompson and all them, man. So that was my team growing up.
Parker.
Pro football. I was a Cowboy fan growing up. What did you say? What did he say?
Switch Parker.
Switch Parker.
Switch Parker.
Yeah, man. Even in the lean years, I stuck with the Lakers, man. I'm not no fair weather fan, man. I stuck with them even through the lean years. So,
he might have had a Bulls bubble jacket.
But no, I'm Jordan. I like Jordan.
Here it is.
But I don't know if I was like I would never say I was a diehard Bulls fan like that. It was fun watching the dynasty. To actually live through an era and at a point where we can enjoy that for what it was, and then to be able to come back and see it again from another perspective with the Last Dance. But
not to rub salt in the wound, have you ever really been able to enjoy like multiple years of college football in a row?
Actually, I had.
So cold, man.
Because there was a time when Ohio State had a coach by the name of John Cooper.
Only the Cooper years.
So the y'all's Cooper years are pretty much like our Brady Hoke years. Brady Hoke was the downfall of Michigan.
Really?
Yes, man, because Lloyd Carr, Brady Hoke, and from there it went down.
I think it's Rich Rod that screwed you guys up.
No, man, Brady Hoke and Rich Rod. Brady Hoke, Rich Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah. We ain't been the same since those two came in. So, again.
Now you got a Michigan.
And I'll say this, though. Rich Rodriguez was trying to implement that fast break.
It worked.
Offense. Huh?
It worked, too.
But he had players in place.
Right.
Right? And so, Brady Hoke, so you're right. They both just got us messed up. So it doesn't really matter which order they came in.
All I know is Tone put that visor back on and now you can't talk.
It's
let me
take that visor off so he can get a thought out.
I know, but I can't even finish my thought.
What is going on?
All I can hear in my ear was just all that foolishness of them trying to spell that 4-letter word.
Are you nervous?
I'm sorry.
Do a whole segment on this. The last thing I'm going to ask you is this about this whole thing.
Yeah.
If you all had Coach Urban Meyer,
oh my God,
I feel like it would give you a chance to be relevant in the conversation, the playoff conversation, at any point sooner than who you feel like that would make the difference. I'm just wondering. We felt like it could.
I'm just saying.
We did it.
I see his mouth moving. Is he saying something?
I don't think that they would allow Urban Meyer on campus for the interview.
Sean, I saw his mouth moving, but he wasn't saying nothing.
Their pride would get in the way.
This is just
man.
This is just a hype.
I'll say this. We don't want Urban.
Oh, that's a mistake.
That's convenient.
Why don't you want Urban? All I know is
because then
I just want
because any success that would come out of it, the school in Columbus would have to then lay claim about it to go Ohio State, man, to make it better. So
hold on, that is your pride. The pride comes before the fall, because guess what? When they were talking about Urban and Notre Dame, I was like, yes. Because a winner is a winner. I don't care where he comes from, and he did used to coach at Notre Dame. I'm just saying, he can come back home anytime he wants to. He can come out of retirement right now. I don't give a damn what Ohio State has to say. I don't care what OSUCKS says to me about a coach being there who used to coach at Ohio. I don't care.
And that is why you all don't have hope.
I hate you, but I side with you. Yeah, but we have hope. We have hope.
Well, you have hope too, Jeff. Have hope.
Poor Michigan.
Man, look, we're going to be all right. I ain't worried about y'all.
Honestly, though, what happened? What's the difference now? This is a serious question. Is it the academics? Because we have the same thing at Notre Dame. I say we. They have the same thing at Notre Dame, right? The academics are so tough. The requirements to get in, they set themselves to a higher standard as far as who comes in. Versus Ohio State. Ohio State, they get their guys. They're eligible. They graduate, supposedly, whatever they're doing. But it's more stringent, obviously, to get in. That's no jab at anybody else. It's tougher to get in Notre Dame and Michigan. Notre Dame has kind of bounced back. Tony made that statement 10 years ago that maybe they're relevant again. You know, because they've had some appearances, they've gotten blown out in the championship game and in playoffs.
We talk about Notre Dame. We do. We talk about Notre Dame more.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Right. They're in a lot of conversations. We talk about Notre Dame way more than we talk about Michigan.
All right.
The only time to talk about Michigan, we're talking about Ohio State and what we do to them every year.
And that's
guys get that airtime because of your fitness over the last decade and a half. That's what you get. Now, Notre Dame, you all stay in the conversation.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. We're back. But I'm trying to figure out, though, honestly, is it because of Rich Rod and Brady Hoke? I like Brady Hoke, and I loved what Rich Rod did. But what is the difference? Because it's got to be coaching, right? Because they're getting the same. They're not getting the same athletes as Ohio State. Neither one of these schools are getting the same athletes.
We're not getting the same athletes.
But Notre Dame and Michigan are getting the same athlete.
We're getting better.
We've been out recruited for years, and like I said, and that's just being real
and coaching.
So I would lean it more towards the coaching piece, and we all have participated and been coaches, and we all understand that to be a successful coach, it's a matter about putting your players in the right position,
right?
And I feel like one of the things I've watched, even with Michigan, and again, being a diehard fan, I'll call it for what it is. We haven't put our players in the best position to win. And that is always going to lead to a place to where we can't be successful. You got to know what your team's strengths are and play to them. And I think there were some points where he did it well, and there are other times where it hasn't. We have fallen off in the recruitment piece. And I think a lot of that also has to deal with the fact that the team hasn't been as successful over the course of the years. So Big Ten has always struggled with, I think, competing with some of the what some would say the top tier athletes as far as like the other conferences like the SEC. We've never really been the fastest conference. We've been a strong conference. We would basically grind you to death. And some of the teams in the conference, Ohio State has done well in transitioning from that grind it out to I can grind it and air you out.
That started with Urban Meyer.
But Urban King, he brought that Florida mentality, that SEC mentality,
that
into
nationwide recruiting. Gone are the days of put a fence up around Ohio and get Ohio's best players, and our goal is to beat Michigan. Those days are gone. Urban Meyer kicked that door down and then said, you know what? Pull up the fences, man. We're going to Cali, we're going to Florida, and we're going to get burners and dogs. And Michigan hasn't done it. Notre Dame has tried, but you're not getting those Ricky Waters, Jerome Bettis's any longer. You're not getting Chris Zorich coming through those doors, Todd Lights. Notre Dame's not getting those dudes anymore. Every now and then they might get one. Michigan might get one every now and then, but they're not getting them like Ohio State. I hate Ohio State fans.
So we've identified the fact that the coaching is not up to.
That's right.
I mean, we have done that. It took us. We had to go the long way, but we got it right.
So this is one of those things about Ohio State fans.
Oh yeah.
It's like we got to go through this whole thing. It's like
Jeff.
Can't have just a general conversation about.
Gotta be a jerk. Gotta be a jerk.
Everything's got to come back around.
Gotta be a jerk. That's right.
But go ahead.
Boom. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, hey man. Once again, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I want you to see you're instigating. Hold on. I don't believe you lose 3 games, 5 games, 3 games, 4 games. Michigan, arguably one of the premier historical programs in college football history. If it was anybody else, it would be gone.
Oh.
You're right.
Oh my God.
You're absolutely right. Anybody else would have been gone.
Yes. He's a Michigan man, though. He's a Michigan man.
Third in the division, not the conference.
Third
in the division.
Wow.
Third in the division.
That's sixth.
Fourth in the division.
Eighth.
First tied, so he didn't win it outright. Then
Second.
third again.
Sixth.
Would be gone. So to me, I'm just trying. Listen.
Wow.
I'm just consider this consultation, free consultation.
We come in first
We need
place
to
over
get
here.
somebody in there.
Coming
Understand.
in first place. Y'all come in first place in y'all conference every year. Don't
Every
you,
year
John?
we come in first place. Every
Hey
year.
man, look, I will always point it back to this. We have not had enough. Our quarterback play has not been strong enough. We do not have, and our defense has not done. It just can't keep up. When your defense is on the field, you got at some point now your offense got to kind of keep your defense off the field. So turnovers will kill us, and that's one of the biggest things that they had trouble with.
And there you get it, fans. You actually just got ball 101. If you cannot do those things,
You done invited this man on this podcast, and you have lambasted him about his football team. He's leaned back. He's pissed.
I'm just, yeah, y'all know me. I can talk football all day.
Look,
But see, I'm gonna talk it like it is. You know, football is football, and it's like regardless of who your team is, you have to be able to acknowledge
that you stink.
where they have not done. They have not done what they needed to do.
You know what's
They have
bad?
not
You know what,
been
Jeff?
who they've been.
You know what, Jeff, man? This dude, he got you on the show, man, and he's like, introduce yourself. Tell us about what you do. And it was all pretty and nice and pandemic, and then I'm an
And then he came
educator.
out swinging.
I'm
But
an
it's cool.
educator, and I have 4
You know,
kids.
but again,
And then he
Hey,
punched
you
me
know,
in the
but the-
face.
But that school in Columbus, you know, they felt like by putting another 3-letter word in front of the school that it was
Oh.
gonna make it prestigious.
Oh,
So you know, it's still what it is.
it is.
Yeah, you know, they thought saying
It ain't prestigious.
look,
The.
they thought putting the and
Not
saying
the.
the.
Yeah,
was
there you
gonna-
go.
Look,
That's it.
they said putting the instead of the, or
Do it.
saying the instead of the, that it was gonna make them more prestigious. It's
Oh,
still
Jeff.
that school in Columbus.
Jeff, we love you. We appreciate you coming on the show.
You want to come back, Jeff?
Don't try to shut me down now. Wait a
You
minute.
wanna
Let's
come
talk
back,
about
son?
the academic portion of it. Come on.
Oh,
Let's talk about the academics. Let's talk about this.
I'm sorry, sir. We're out of time this week.
Let's talk about its ranking as far as
That's what
the
Tony
type
gonna
of
tell you.
scholars that
Tony
they
gonna be
put out.
like, we're out of time.
Let's talk
That'll
about-
that'll
let's
wrap
talk
it up
about
for
how
this
many
week.
football players they graduate.
He sounds
Let's
like
talk about what are the football players doing now when they don't stay in the league.
Hey, my football team more John Blaze than that, man. My football team more John Blaze than that, man. We got football players too, man. We can win games too, son. We just as good as Ohio State. We just as good as Ohio State, man. That's Michigan. I'm a Michigan man, son.
Oh, he got jokes.
Oh, that was mad. That was
Hey,
mad football coach. Not mad
Matt
rapper.
football Says the man who won't be able to see a Michigan Notre Dame for another 13 years.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Don't
What
be
you say?
mad. Say that again, Tony.
We're pushing the time. What kind?
Hey man, look, we are at 58 and a half minutes.
Man, it's been announced.
So here's the deal. Jeff, we promised to on again. We're going to do it on October 25th.
Bring it on.
Sunday. I
Yeah.
want you to be prepared. We will send you props to hang up and
Oh,
air and position so you can feel comfortable and you
Oh.
can feel like you're part of the group. All right. Thank you so much.
Look, the only
for
Scarlet
helping
and
make
Gray
the-
I'll ever wear again was it's that Stebbins High School Scarlet and Gray.
Oh.
That's the only
See,
time
hey.
I'll ever.
sing the fight song.
And with that, you want to take us out with some theme music? Mr. Producer?
Yeah, we can. It's a great show. We've had a great show.
Yes.
Thanks, Jeff, for coming on. We
Hey, man,
appreciate
it's all
you.
good.
But we'll take it out with really good music
Here we go
because
again.
I'm in control of the board. Oh, Notre Dame, wake up, the echoes cheering your name. Hey,
The only
fellas,
thing y'all
hey,
heard-
this is beautiful.
But the only thing you heard the last game was what?
Oh, Lord. Look, I bought you a little gift, man.
To those conquering.
You
Go
were
ahead, Sean,
so
sing
mad
it.
at
You
me.
know it.
You were so mad at me
You know
when
it, Sean.
I lit you up too, boy. What-
Go ahead, sing
It's
it,
all
Sean.
good.
You know the words. You still
You
remember.
got to get a win sometimes. We're trying to keep Harbaugh in the seat. We had a deal with Ohio State to keep old Harbaugh in his seat so they could beat him
Oh, is that
down
what it
again.
was?
All right, Ryan
what it
Day is
was?
going to hang 100 on you. I hope they hang 100 on you. I hope they do it in the third quarter, and then they score more than 100 with the backups. Hey, Tone,
Ain't happening.
it's a great show today, man. We had a great show. Thanks for everybody listening. I appreciate you, Jeff. Hey, I need both of y'all to say word, son.
Word, son.
Word, son.
Peace out.